Hello YouTubers, YYC Busy Mom. You're probably wondering why I have a bunch of mess stuff on my stove here, but I wanted to show you something. I got this first aid kit. As you know, I'm going through my kits and seeing what is still viable, what is not. I've had this in the vehicle, for about a few years now, and as you can see it's faded, and that gave me indication and opened it up. This first aid kit is kind of good because it's got a few items in it like your needles. However, in this kit was also not just a first aid kit but a survival kit, and that is where our problem laid. In this survival first aid kit was a set of tea lights, and as you can see, these tea lights have melted in the heat. They got out of their nice little Ziploc baggie there, got all over the compress, the band-aids. It's like you can almost see through these ones. Even the gauze pads, as you can see, it's not as white as it should be. It should be as white as the stove here, and it's not contaminated. There's a few items in here. The candles were actually in with the matches, which is okay because now I have waterproof matches. Kind of funny to me. Here's the first aid guide that came with the kit, and as you can see, the sheets are transparent, hard to read because the print on the other side shows through very well. So it's very hard to read. So, I mean, it's not impossible to read, but it's really hard to read. So, this is another example of check your gear. You never know how it's been contaminated. It's no longer sterile at this point. Even the moist towelettes, or the sanitary serviette, antiseptic serviettes, they were dry. Absolutely dry. No use, nothing to them. So there's a few things in this kit that I will keep, and just to show you are some iodine. They didn't get affected. Some sting relief medicated pads. I'll keep those. Ironically enough, the case itself is not that waxy. Your tweezers, got some wax in here, so I shouldn't say that. It is contaminated, but everything's in the package. These little scissors. We got some gauze here. This was pretty good. It didn't get, it got some wax on the bottom, but it didn't go through the packaging. And then my new waterproof matches now, so I'll keep those in there. And then this didn't get affected, the emergency survival blanket. And these gloves did get some wax on them, but until I get more gloves, these will stay in here. It's not like I'm going to be doing any major surgical. This would be to wear, for instance, if someone got a cut in their finger and they don't want to contaminate that, so they put the bandage on and put the gloves over top for them in the meantime, so it doesn't get contaminated with the dirts or whatever it is. But this is just another example to check your gear. And this isn't that old. It's probably about 3 years old. And we were thinking that maybe one of these packets of creams had erupted or whatever, but it wasn't. It was actually the candles. So as much as tea lights sound like a great idea, even in a Ziploc in this case, they still contaminated all these other supplies. And I think this is kind of important, don't you? Well, enjoy.